Hello, it's Classy here, back to another Tribes video, and today I will be releasing an updated guide for the Alliance Team Battle event. It just started, so some people might have actually completed their battles for the day if they have an earlier vote time, but either way, this video will show you all the relevant strategies for how to maximize your damage, and hopefully you can share this with your alliances and get good rewards for everybody. So the first thing we want to check out is the actual posted update in the game itself. So this kind of goes over a lot of the basic information, but I'll go over that on my own. What I'm curious about is the boosted tribes, because every event certain tribe specials will have a boost and you can do more damage with them. So here we go. This is what it says. So these tribes will do extra damage. So the first one, 2 paths traversed by rivals. So you need EMS Sasuke, and then another Sasuke, then a Naruto. Now, they also have KLM Naruto, Hinata, and another Shinobi. This one is not going to be very useful. Then the third boosted tribe special, Next Generation. This one will be useful against D units. Friends you can count on, probably not that useful. Grown Up Team Kakashi is pretty good against T units, I think. Then Hurricane Vortex is overall a pretty decent tribe. So there we go. Those are the boosted tribes for this event. So you can definitely consider using them. But I'll explain that some tribes are just better than the boosted tribes. So now that we've gone through that, we're going into the actual event itself. I haven't actually started yet, but we'll show where everything is. So in the preparation phase, after you've selected your battle time, you can upgrade Scientific Ninja Tools, which basically give you all these boosts, and this affects everybody in the alliance at once. So you guys just need to spend stamina every day and then put the upgrades into these ninja tools. So this speed one isn't very useful, and neither is the status effect one. Defense Shinobi you probably won't use much. Attack Shinobi, the reason why this is good is because some of the best tribes will have Attack Shinobi, and you'll also have a few others on your team. But this is mainly for the tribe, so the Attack Shinobi in your tribe will get a lot of boosts, and that will do extra damage. And then for Tactical Shinobi, it's the same idea. You'll have a bunch of different Tactical Shinobi on your team, very likely. And then there'll be Tactical Shinobi in your tribe as well. So when you upgrade the stats of those Shinobi, you'll deal more damage with the tribe. Remember that the tribe is scaling off of the units that are part of it. So the more you upgrade your units offense-wise, the more damage you'll be doing with your tribe. You can also upgrade your tribe itself and then awaken it. So those will all allow you to do more damage. Now this is a tribe special damage boost, which is very important. This one basically just increases your tribe damage, and it can basically be any tribe. Then there's a tribe special bonus damage boost, which gives extra boosts to those specific boosted tribes that I showed earlier. So every ATB there'll be a different one. And that's why you need to read that, because sometimes you do want to use some of those boosted tribes. So after you upgrade your Scientific Ninja Tools, you go to Target Vote, and you can see there's a lot of members here. Most alliances, if not all of them, usually don't get through all of these. It's not as easy as it looks. They have a lot of HP all combined. But you can check out their link bonuses. So this is similar to how unit link bonuses work. And that basically means whenever you defeat a unit, then the link that contains it will be turned off. So let's say you defeated Sasori. You don't even need to defeat Hidan to deactivate this link, which is attack plus 20% to all of the Akatsuki members. Knowing this information also allows you to choose your targets wisely. So maybe on day 1 you want to take out a certain unit, you would want to check out the links just to verify that. And the way voting works is the top 3 voted units will give you extra tribe gauge. So for example, if we have Kakuzu in first place, we get 100% tribe gauge right when we enter the battle. That's very important to strategies that I'll discuss later. Similarly, second place will get 80% tribe gauge, third place 50%. Now let's take a look at the enemy link bonuses more carefully. So we see that Deidara and Shark Kisame has the damage reduction rate plus 20%. And then Kakuzu and Pain have defense plus 20%. Conan, Sasori, guard rate 20%. The other ones are either attack, damage increase rate, or other offensive buffs. Then status effect suppression rate basically just makes them harder to be stunned, which isn't necessarily that useful. The links that you want to hit first are going to be the ones that increase their defense, because that will increase your damage output overall. Once you turn those links off early on in the event, then you'll be doing more damage every day after. That's why most of the top alliances who have a lot of power and committed members, they're going to be targeting this Deidara first. He is the weaker of the two here, and if you defeat him, you remove this damage reduction rate plus 20% link, which is very powerful. Damage reduction rate is one of the prime defense stats, so that's why you want to take this one out. It's more important than taking out Kakuzu's defense plus 20%. But yeah, that's basically the general rule, getting rid of the defense links first. Now, of course, not every alliance is going to have that much power, so for alliances that might not be able to meet that standard, like maybe it'll take a ton of days to finish Deidara off, they've also considered just taking out the SR characters first just to get more points on the ratings, and that way they can still earn the rewards. Because at the end of this event, the rewards are based on how your alliance does compared to other alliances in your server. So that's why defeating these shinobi will give you more points. So think about that how you want to, and you should be a good judge of where your alliance is at. Great, so we got through the voting and scientific ninja tools. Now it's time to talk about team building, the best part. And for this, we're going to go into the team building tool. Here we go, fully updated one. Let's just get a few of the must-haves out of the way. So size and must-have. Then Shikadai or Shikamaru is a must-have. So these two go together. So I'm just going to consider Shikadai here. But Shikamaru is basically the substitute if you don't have Shikadai. And remember that you need 4-star. Now, you also need a tribe gauge booster, who can be Jiraiya, so it would be like that, or who could be KLM. So KLM won't have enough chakra on turn 2 the jutsu, so you would need to put him in energy somewhere. And the other tribe gauge boosters would be Hashirama, Sakura Blossom, or Choji, and those guys can't go in Spirit either because they don't have the initial 5k like Jiraiya does, so they would need to go in energy as well. There are also specific cases where some of your units might get more chakra based on what type your opponent Akatsuki is, so I won't be going over that in this video, but that could affect your placement somewhat. Because your tribe gauge booster might gain more chakra, so you can move them up. But either way, for now, let's just consider the most generic case. So we have these characters here. If you have KCM, you definitely want to use them and put him first in spirit like this. And the reason we have Sai here instead of behind Jiraiya, even though Jiraiya gives offensive buffs to T units, is that we want to use Sai's skill 2 most of the time. So remember, even if he has full jutsu, you can swipe up to cancel the jutsu and use his skill 2 instead. And it's not guaranteed, it's pretty random, but you can upgrade the chances of that with his third vitality. So his skill 2 will just increase attack for all allies for a bit. It still matters somewhat, although it's not like the most craziest buff ever. If you want to eke out every last amount of potential damage you can, you do want to do this. That's why we have him above Jiraiya. Now for this other buffer, people have used a lot of different ones, but characters like T Datara and Mei, they can increase critical damage increase rate and crit rate. So that will allow your tribe to crit more, and that just does a lot more damage. So that's why people like to put T Datara here. You know, Mei, make sure to check out the tier list video for ATB. That's why I have it. But if you have Nagato, you can also use him because he's very strong. So you might notice that we have Jiraiya and KLM. We don't need both, so I'll take Jiraiya off. Nagato has 5k initial, so that's why he can go into spirit. And he's very great because if you remember Kid Kakashi, how he would give you buffs every turn just because you were faster, Nagato is like that, but even better. So every time one of your cells is faster than your opponent, which is every cell basically, you'll be getting these important buffs from him passively. He doesn't even need to be in the active rotation for this to happen. So that's why we have Nagato. And those are some of the main buffers people use. There are also some tech buffers, which mean depending on who your opponent Akatsuki is and what their type is, you might be able to do some more damage to them. So for example, Tobirama debuffs T units a lot, and then Tobi debuffs D units a lot. So I kind of went over this in the tier list video, but this is just a reminder. EMS Sasuke is also a really good buffer for this. So you have a lot of options. Of course, not everyone has all the characters anyways. But speaking of EMS Sasuke, the 4 cell is where you want to put your tribe. And this is a team for the 100% tribe strat. And I'll go over the 80% tribe strat later. The 100% tribe strat means that you start off with a 100% tribe gauge, aka you're attacking the opponent that your alliance voted first for that day. The positioning matters because you won't start with full tribe gauge if you don't attack the opponent that is first. So for example, if we have 100% tribe gauge on turn 1, we can tribe right away and then get all those buffs right away. So now that we know that, let's consider this 4 cell and the tribe we're using right now. It will be the one with EMS, and I don't remember the name per se, but it's basically him and a Sasuke and a Naruto. I'm pretty sure the adult Narutos don't work. Yeah, let's just put this Naruto here. For this specific tribe, since it's so flexible, you can either pick Sasuke's that will passively give you some kind of benefit, same for Naruto, or you can just pick your strongest Sasuke and Naruto, because the tribe will scale off of your character stats. Remember that? So therefore, we will put this tribe here, and that's basically how it works. So on turn 1, you tribe Turn 2, you can use your jutsu or side skill 2. Turn 3, you use your jutsus. There's really no targeting to worry about since you're only fighting one character anyway. KLM will give you the tribe gauge boost as well as offensive buffs. Turn 4, you tribe. Turn 5, turn 6, jutsu again. And then turn 7, you tribe one last time and you'll do a ton of damage on that one. Your damage will ramp up over time. So that's basically how the 100% tribe gauge strat works. Now for the 80%, you won't have 100% tribe gauge, so you need to move your tribe down to spirit, because once you reach turn 2, you'll have enough tribe gauge. So let me just put these guys here. Now you can move these guys up, but you see the issue now is that Nagato isn't going to have 100% tribe gauge. So that's kind of the issue that a lot of players will face. So you'll probably want to pick somebody that might have a good skill too, or has a lot of passive buffs. So even if Nagato doesn't jutsu here, it's not the end of the world for him, but you could also move him to energy and put someone else there. So it's kind of up to you. Just make sure your tribe gauge booster is an energy, but you'll need an extra one now because of how these rotations work. So just remove this character, Daedra. Then we need to add another tribe gauge booster so we could have Jiraiya. KLM, Jiraiya. Even some players need to use Choji or Blossom, depending on which units they have. Don't forget about Hashirama either. All depends on which ones you have ready and upgraded. So you basically just follow with the same turn-by-turn procedure, except your tribes will be on a later turn. But you'll still be able to get 3 tribes in because you're having all of this extra tribe gauge. So that's basically how the 80% tribe strat works. And once you know these two things, it should be very easy to build teams. The formula is pretty cookie cutter. There's just a lot of replacement options. So that's why you might want to check out that tier list. But for the most part, I don't think ATB team building is very hard. I would say that the tribe choosing might be somewhat interesting if you have a lot of options. But also, you just want to use the ones that you have fully upgraded. Not everyone has a ton of resources to keep upgrading new tribes and characters. So that's why, let's say you don't have EMS or this tribe isn't ready. What else should you use? Arguably the best tribe for ATB is actually Papa Sasuke, Mama Sakura, and UR Sarda. So this is Connected Feelings. And the reason why this is so good is because it's A units and a T unit, T-type tribe. And then every time you use it, you boost attack and damage increase rate. So just like a perfect tribe for this scenario where you just want to keep stacking damage. So a lot of players have this fully upgraded and they just use this. So I'm using this. It's very fine if you just use this. This will work for every situation. It's very versatile. Now, if you don't have this and you're missing the other tribes as well, it's pretty hard to upgrade all of those characters all the time. You can also use the free-to-play version of that, which is New Team 7. So it's basically a similar situation, but you have 2 SRs and an R. And again, I talked about the boosted tribes at the beginning of this video. So the Hurricane Blossom one is SR Naruto, Sakura, and Yamato, I think. So that one should be easy to get also, since you already have all those characters. I think most of the other boosted tribes might require some characters that are harder to get. And yeah, that's basically what I have for you guys. Hopefully this video helps out. Good luck in your ATB endeavors. Thanks for watching.